Let's talk more about this disturbing violence in Bangladesh with Ali Riaz. He is a professor and a chairman of the Department of Politics and Government at Illinois State University, and he previously taught at universities in Bangladesh. Ali, great to have you back on the program. Unfortunately, under these similar circumstances, I mean, here we are yet again talking about another hacking death. Why does this keep happening in Bangladesh? Is there no freedom of expression?
This is largely because the abject failure of the government to maintain law and order situation. This has no other explanation. Of course, we have seen the perpetrators in many ways connected to, or at least alleged to be connected to, the militant groups. But the entire politicization of the law enforcing agencies, now that they're focusing more on their political opponent and shifting their focus there, has caused this kind of situation. And then the other thing, Andrew, which you have mentioned, the situation with respect to the freedom of expression. We have seen the attacks are coming from both sides, meaning it is coming from the government, it is coming from this militant group. So given the culture of impunity that we are witnessing, given that very polarized situation that we are witnessing, given that the law and order situation has deteriorated and pointing finger and political scoring has become the staple of the administration, these are the things, very unfortunate situation taking place.
You know, I read a searing editorial from the Dhaka Tribune, and it basically blamed the government, as you are doing, for not really protecting its citizens and not prioritizing what's going on. Just a quick excerpt I want to read to you. Quote, not only has the government failed to stop such killings or bring the perpetrators to justice, it has appeased their supporters by pointing fingers at victims and feeding the mindset that people need to watch what they say and write or suffer the consequences. I mean, obviously, there's somewhat of a backlash from the people who are concerned about freedom of expression, this disturbing trend of violence. Do you not think that the government at some point is going to be forced to prioritize this disturbing trend that we're seeing and say, hey, something needs to be done?
Absolutely, they have to. But at the same time, we should be concerned that this is not only a matter of looking at it from the law and order situation. Heavy-handedness is not going to solve the situation because, first of all, we need to agree, and the government needs to accept the fact and acknowledge the fact that this situation, the culture of fear, has permeated through the society. Because the restrictions imposed by the government also is feeding into this. And then, as you have quoted from the Daily Tribune, you know, Dhaka Tribune, this is the appeasement of some of these elements. Maybe politically expedient, but that is not going to help Bangladesh because Bangladeshis need to stand up and say, no, this is enough is enough. Right. And this is not only about the militant groups, it is a larger issue of freedom of expression. Mm-hmm. And wherever there is coming, wherever the attacks are coming, that needs to be confronted. And the citizens needs to be protected, whether they are their faith in religion or they're atheists. It doesn't matter because a citizen is a citizen and the state's responsibility and the government's responsibility is to protect them.
Will there be any accountability? I mean, there's been so many of these cases. Just this month, we're talking about 4 hacking deaths. Will the perpetrators be held accountable?
Unfortunately, the records doesn't help us in this regard. If you look back from 2013, there's so many incidents. Only one case has been tried in the court. And this kind of slow process, this kind of failure encourages the militants and those who are the perpetrators, whoever the perpetrators are, they're feeling that they have impunity. They can continue this kind of thing. And as I said, that in an overall situation, overall political situation, lack of democratic space, lack of support from the government about the freedom of expression, and of course, the overall situation of culture of fear that has permeated, all these things help this kind of militants to grow and attack those people who are speaking out, whether they're LGBT, whether they're bloggers, whether they're secularists, atheists, or the critique of the government. You know, all sorts of things needs to be looked into as one big picture. And what we are witnessing is not very encouraging at this point.
It is not encouraging, to say the least. Ali Riaz with the Illinois State University. We appreciate you joining us again here on CNN today. Thanks.
Thank you.